Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. Welcome back, Warriors. Terry, you are completely right. We were talking before we started. We are off our game. It's really weird.
Totally, man. We can't go more than a week and a half without recording, man, because I
I
need
know.
this.
I know. I know. That's just that
Yeah.
weird middle of May seasonal transition. The weather doesn't even know what it's doing.
I don't know, man.
Just going through it right now. It's just hitting hard. I don't know why.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to use that as an excuse. Like
Oh,
we're going through.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it an excuse, but
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean you're making an excuse. People tend to go, oh, don't worry, it's the weather. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm just lazy today. I don't know.
well, if you're out there, when you're out there listening in, just know that you're not the only one who's going through it because don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fatigue. I don't know. I'm more tired than I have been recently.
And don't get me wrong. Like today, I went to the dentist. Some guy came to fix my door. Like I'm up and about.
Right.
But now that things are done, I'm just sitting down. I'm like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. I just feel lazy.
Yeah, I got the same feeling. Just
Cool.
unmotivated.
Yeah.
That and my symptoms are way up. My cramping is unbelievable. Not sleeping right.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just my symptoms are, like I said, they're just more heightened than they have been usually.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Okay.
I'm like you, I'm getting stuff done. I'm up and moving. It's just, I just feel like, just dragging,
Yeah.
just in a down.
And take that shit serious, you know? Like, I
Oh, I
mean,
do.
take time for yourself. Like, I, I'm the worst. I say that, but I don't do that for myself.
Hmm.
So, but
Well,
totally take,
let's see if you fall into the, let's see, I brought this up. Let's see if this fits. It's the 10 behaviors that people display when they're unhappy.
oh boy,
All right.
let's go.
So let's see. Number one is overcompensation.
Oh my God. Next.
If a person is going out of their way to show the world how great they are, they may be overcompensating.
Okay. I don't know if I have that
So
issue, but
in an MS context,
yes.
do you find that there are people who are like, life is great, everything is awesome, MS doesn't affect me, but somewhere in there that's a front?
Yeah. You know, I always reply in my head with, "Oh, you must have the good MS." But there
Hmm.
is no good MS. MS is MS, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I've experienced many of those people.
I think I was guilty of that early on. I can, you know, at the very beginning, I was like, no, everything's fine. It's not going to affect me at all.
Dude, I was the same way the first
Hmm.
5 years. So you're right. I was
Okay.
in denial. That's
So,
denial.
so I'll just guilty. I'll check that. Hang on. Let me get a pen so I can keep score. Hang on.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, definitely guilty of that one. For the
All
first
right.
5, maybe even 7 years, I was telling people, nah, I'm good. Whatever. Let's move
All
on
right.
from
So
that.
that's one apiece.
Yeah.
Number two, isolation. No?
No.
Yes. I never isolated myself either. I found
Uh,
it more important to be around people after the MS diagnosis.
yeah. You have family too. So I
Hmm.
assume you have to get up. You know, when I had the dog around, I can't believe I said the dog around, when I had my dog around, you know what I mean? I had no
Yeah.
excuses and I wasn't dragging. I just knew what my priorities were. You have kids. And not that your kids are
Yeah.
young or anything,
Yeah,
but
but you can still isolate when you have kids. You just don't talk to anybody outside of your family like you do the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I did know someone that had kids and just stayed in bed all day. And yeah, so you're right. You're right. But all I mean is it's tough. Like isolation is tough when you have people around you pushing you. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but I
Yeah.
feel because I don't I it's easy for me to isolate myself because I don't have any responsibilities like children. My dog's not around anymore. I got cats, but dude, easy. Cats are easy. In my
Yeah,
life,
there.
they're easy. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody else will say something else, but definitely don't have that problem. Isolation.
Yeah, me, I like I said, I went the other way. I wanted to be around people more, I guess, out of a sense of I needed to still feel like I was important and I had a purpose. So being around other people was kind of how I did that outside of my family because, yeah, I didn't isolate from them. As if anything, I got more involved in my kids' lives and they were super appreciative of that, let me tell you.
Is it because you had more time?
Yeah, it's because I had all the time now. Because
Yeah.
I went from working nonstop to nothing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I love to stay home. Don't get me wrong. I love to stay home. If someone's like, "Are you okay if we still home today? Stay home today?" See, I can't even talk today. My mouth is all mumbly. But I love to stay home, man. I'm a homebody, and I never used to be. Back in
Hmm.
the day, I would never be home. I would only be home. Oh, it's sleep time. I
Right.
gotta go home or dinner or. But I would never want to stay home. And now I just always want to be home. Always.
Well,
I
you've
love to
probably
go
been
out,
out there.
but
You've been out there enough to know that, okay, I know what's out there.
dude, I hear this from a lot of people, and I'm lucky because I feel, and you might have said this before. I don't remember, man. Uh, but I've done enough in my life, and I'm not bragging or any of that stuff, but I'm content. I've done enough in my life where I feel I need to retire. I know that's such a
No,
weird
no, I
thing to
get it.
say, but I'm done. I'm done. I just want to retire. I don't, there's nothing more for me to do. I've ridden my motorcycles. I've driven my cars. I've gone on
Hmm.
vacation.
Yeah, as
It's
long as
time
you,
to retire.
well, I'll say this, as long as you are still finding joy in the things you are doing, then I think that's pretty healthy because naturally things shift and change over time. And let's admit it, Terry, we're getting older and we're slowing down and we just don't care about the things we once cared about.
You're right. And this is probably the reason why I spend a lot of money on silly stuff
Hmm.
because I don't have that stuff anymore. I'm trying to fill the void.
Yep.
So, am I depressed?
Well, let's continue on. Let's see. Number three, um, lack of self-care. Did you ever have a period of time where you didn't take care of yourself, as far as like grooming goes or, making sure your boundaries are appropriate, like all those things.
In the in the beginning of my diagnosis, yes, for sure.
Mhm.
What about you? Right now, I think I have got it together.
Well, I would say that there were brief periods of time, but I would say no longer than a couple months before I was like, you know what? I really need to shave my face, or I really need to cut my hair, or but
Never.
never was I at a stage where I was like, it's been 4 days since I showered and I don't care, you know? So I didn't have
Really?
that one. Yeah, really. Oh man, if I
What?
go longer than 24 hours without showering, I don't feel right.
Dude, I'm a clean guy. Let's get this out right now. I'm a real clean guy. And I used to shave every 2 days. I couldn't
Hmm.
go. So I'm so grateful right now that I have someone in my life that's like, nah, grow it. I want to see how long it can get. Grow the hair. So it's easy. I don't have to shave anymore like I used to because I was really OCD with that stuff.
Sure.
So
Oh, I was
but
that way too.
the shower. Let's get into that. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Wow, 24 hours, eh? And nobody wants to talk about it because then you're like, "Oh, I'm a smelly guy." Dude, first of all, I don't emit the smell that some people do. Okay? Like my brother has this smell that, if he goes to the gym and whatever, he just has that odor and it's like, "Dude, go shower twice. Shower two times, please." But with me, I can work out, I can sweat. And I know you're gonna probably say, well, you don't smell your own shit. But dude, I'm telling you, I don't emit this odor. So I can go now. This is me being open. I can go 3, 4 days. And
Really?
the only thing that makes me uncomfortable is because I sit down a lot. So I have to. I
Sure.
have to. You know what I mean?
No,
But
I
there's 3 day mark, and I'm just like, I don't even smell it. Like, whatever, man. People can judge me right now, but dude, I need to conserve my energy. If I'm
sure.
home all day doing nothing, I gotta play it smart, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's something that plays into some of the symptomatic things that happen. Sometimes you just don't have the energy. Or in my case, there are some times where it just seems a little dangerous to be taking a shower at that particular moment because
Okay.
I don't know, the state of my leg strength is just to the point where I don't know if the grab bars would do their job if I needed them to. So I just wait a little while. It's a
Come on.
safety thing.
What do you mean the grab bars aren't? Do you test that when it's installed?
Well, I have the suction cup style.
Okay, never mind. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have that too. I have a couple of those backups.
So I test it every time before I get in the shower. It's the first thing I do.
I understand because sometimes you have to like re uh set it again. I get it. I have those.
And I did read the little warning that fell out of the packaging that said this product is not designed to support a person's entire body weight. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like a little,
Bro, those are not grab bars.
no, they're
Those are
not.
just handles, support handles.
Yeah. Right.
When I got my grab bar installed, the guy tested it. Like this guy huge, yanked on it, right? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, you're gonna break it. He's like, no, you gotta test it. What if you're falling and you all of a sudden pull on it? And then I had another guy come in probably 2 years later to do some more renovations. He saw the grab bar. He just went up to it, man, and yanked on it as hard as he could. I'm like, what are you doing, man? That's not what I want you to fix. He's like, oh no, I'm just testing your grab bars. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna
Wow.
yank it off the wall. He's like, dude, you have to test them. So I'm like, you know what? I appreciate you doing that because it makes me feel safe now. But yeah, I
Okay,
love grab bars.
number 4,
Yeah.
overworking. It's common for people to throw themselves into their work when they're feeling unhappy. Guilty,
Guilty.
for sure,
A
for
hundred
sure.
percent.
So I've been told several times that I am trying to do too much, and uh, you're, probably like me. You push yourself to the point of breaking. Maybe not anymore, but definitely when I was first diagnosed, I was like, everything's fine. See what I can do. I can do this. I can do that. See how much energy I have. And then I would just be a complete miserable train wreck at the end of the day because I had burned out all my energy. I had burned out all my energy to deal with people, and everything was just piling up.
Um, I feel like it's almost like I need to do everything I can before it's too late.
Oh, I have that too. Yep.
So if I have a task, I need to do it now before someone interrupts me, before I can't do it anymore, before I get tired. So yeah, I was very much like that. I feel like I might still be like that.
I know in my mind, I'm very much still like that, where I'm like, I have all this whole list of things that need to be accomplished, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get to them, and I'm always running late, which in reality, I'm not. I don't have anywhere to be, really.
I feel you. I
And,
feel you.
you know, when you have when you have people and, when you have people in your life telling you, no, you are disabled, you say, no, I'm not. And then they say, no, really, you are. You're not working anymore. and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. So it takes a little bit of a ego check.
I have people telling me, "Why don't you take a nap? You need a nap right now.
Oh,
Take a break." I'm
yeah,
like, I don't want to take a break. I feel like that's such a waste of time.
yeah.
But other than keep myself so busy like you, like I did for the first 10 years, I was really working, man, hard and trying to show people like nothing is slowing me down. But now that I'm in retirement mode and I can't work and I'm chilled and I have nothing to do, it doesn't stop. It's in my head. It's always trying to figure out how I can better my home, how I can better this. What can I do? Can I do something while I have the energy? Like it's just continuously going through my head and I feel
Yep.
guilty when it stops. So, and that's what I say. I cannot go to sleep unless I am truly tired and I'm passing out. Because if I go to bed and lie down, my mind.
So that leads me to number five.
Mhm.
When you're overworking and you're trying to do all those tasks, number five is irritability. I am for sure guilty of that.
Why don't we just meet each other and fight? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm negative a lot, but I'm not negative, bro. I'm real. I'm real.
Do you feel like you have a short fuse?
I feel like I'm impatient.
Okay.
What's a short fuse compared to impatient?
Irritable. Do
You know
things
what?
bother you?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm very irritable. I just don't show it sometimes. How about that?
Sure.
Because in my mind, irritable means you snap at people and you're in the
Yeah.
streets. I don't,
But no, I'm
you,
guilty of that. And you know what? It comes from when I've overworked, when I'm overtired, when I'm,
hungry?
hungry. I get hangry. That's a real thing.
It is. Yeah.
Uh, I'll say this. It's very obvious for me. Well, it's very obvious to the people around me when I haven't taken my medication or I'm dehydrated. If I'm one of those two things, I am irritable. Ugh, I'm a horrible. You don't want to be around me if I'm dehydrated.
Dude, I'm so glad you say that because you're admitting it too.
Oh yeah,
No one wants that. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I know who I am when I'm irritable.
and literally a glass of water, and I'm right back to where I'm supposed to be.
Glass of water,
Yeah, glass of water.
water. Yeah. I never realized that maybe I'm dehydrated. That's why I'm irritable. But I do notice that when I'm eating or after I eat, all of a sudden I'm
Mhm.
happy.
That's that's because they're you're chemically imbalanced. Your sugars are low. Your liquid intake is down. You're just not the same person. That's why the commercial. You're just not you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, totally. We have that commercial. It's the Snickers bar.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, you have the same one for sure. It's American. All the best commercials are American. No, I didn't say that. I was just kidding. My Canadian friends.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
are we
Um,
on six?
yep. Number six. Loss of interest. It says one of the most heartbreaking signs of deep-seated unhappiness when people lose interest in the things that they used to love.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not interested in the things I used to love because I can't do them anymore. So I don't feel bad that I don't ride my motorcycle anymore because it was a medical reason. I don't feel bad that I'm not a firefighter anymore because that was a volunteer thing. Um, I mean, I miss the work, but I don't feel bad that I don't do it anymore because realistically, I would have become a statistic, or at least I had a high chance of becoming a statistic because, heat fatigues me and I can't stress myself. So the whole the whole thing is being stressed in the heat. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're carrying 30 to 80 pounds of gear in, potentially and 600 to 700, even almost 800-degree environment. So that is for sure not where you should be. or at least me anyway. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. My motivation is killed.
Yeah. So no, I don't. I would say that my interests have shifted, but I haven't lost interest in life.
Okay,
That
it makes sense.
kind of
And
sound the same, like the things have changed.
totally. I mean, I just don't have motivation. Um, I don't know, man. We can dwell into this for another 20 minutes,
Well,
really.
you're motivated
Because
to do the show.
yeah, oh yeah, no, I have motivation. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's saying what you said, like lost, like I don't miss, I miss driving, but
Right.
I don't know. I don't have any
Well,
interest in cars anymore.
right.
I used to be interested in different things, obviously, and my interest has fell down. Like I have no motivation, whatever.
I know what
It's
you're saying. It's a healthy change.
I'm not dwelling on it. That's what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're still
Yes.
interested in life in general.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
Yeah.
not, we don't get a point for that. Um, number seven, disturbed sleep patterns.
Other than having to get up to the washroom, that's about it.
Yeah. I have them, but it's very same. It's symptom related. If I didn't have the cramping and I didn't have, um, have to use the bathroom overnight, then yeah,
Yeah.
I would sleep normal, you know. And that's really what it is. Is, when I say I'm not sleeping right at the beginning of this episode, it's really just because I'm like my symptoms are up. So I'm being affected a little bit more than usual.
Okay. I lied. I actually my sleep is fine. It's everything's fine. When I sleep, I sleep. When I get up to use the washroom, I go back to sleep, no problems. But the problem is I don't sleep early enough. I have this anxiety. Like I said, I need to be really, really tired before I sleep. I don't know what it is. I just think a lot in bed,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I sleep fine. I don't have, issues with my sleep, and I'm pretty sure if I go to bed early, I'm pretty sure I'd be able to sleep, but I'm just not motivated to go to bed early to start thinking.
And
I
that
feel
and
hope.
that's the worst, isn't it? Like you think about you're very task oriented all day long. It's like, okay, I got to do this and that, and then you do it. Then when you lay down, it's like all of a sudden the gear shifts and you're now 1,000 miles an hour thinking of all the things you didn't do, all the things you have to do, all the things, it's like you replay every single moment.
Dude, I'm a pro at that. I'm a pro at remembering the littlest things. Like, oh my God, how can I have said that to that person? I didn't even realize, or, I'll just, and yeah, it comes out at night. I don't know why.
That's because you're not doing anything else.
Yeah.
One of the greatest videos that I've ever watched on YouTube, it's called Don't Worry. I think it's called Don't Worry, No One Cares. I've referenced it a few times. And it's all about how we dwell on the tiniest things that no one even noticed.
Dude, I sometimes, and it's just recently, I start to think about, there's someone that has died 200 years ago. We all talk about this all the time, but he's died 200 years ago. Nobody's even talking about this person. Nobody even knows this person. Nobody even knows that he crapped his pants in front of everybody. It's done. It's done. So live in the moment because it's going to be done. I get it, man. I need to stop worrying and just enjoy my life like it's done tomorrow,
Yeah, that's because one day it will be done tomorrow.
and
And
nobody will care.
people that love you will be sad for a while, and then generations will go by, and you will just be a name in a book. So don't even worry about it. Don't
It,
sweat it.
it sounds depressing, but it's not
No.
because
Mm-mm.
it makes you realize, dude, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like everything you do, enjoy it. And don't harm anybody else doing it.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Number eight, excessive humor.
Did we pass seven?
No, we just talked about seven is sleep patterns.
Okay. Number
Um,
eight.
humor is often seen as a sign of happiness and contentment, but can sometimes mask deeper seated unhappiness. So the question is, have you ever used humor to mask how sad you were?
Aren't all comedians depressed?
For sure, yes is the answer for me. I have for sure done that.
No comments because everyone right now is like, Terry is such a goof, such a comedian guy. He must be battling. I don't know. Um, hmm.
Having been in a community that embraces dark humor, I've used humor to cover up lots of things. I've seen some pretty not so nice things, and all you can do is make a joke about it because you have to deflect it. Because otherwise, in my opinion, you absorb the terrible. But if you can joke about it, you can kind of deflect it out. But I don't think I've ever used happiness to cover up unhappiness, especially not recently. As I've gone along in the diagnosis, I'm a lot more real, a lot more open, a lot more honest. Because I think it was, someone's going to fact check me. I don't know if it was, I don't know. Somebody said, I think it was Mark Twain. Somebody said if you only tell the truth, you never have to remember anything.
Oh man,
It's
is he?
someone's gonna light me up on that quote.
Hold on, is he the only one that has said that?
No, 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 no. It might
Yeah.
not even have been him. So somebody said it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I've
Totally.
I've done it. I've done it, but not recently.
You'll be taught that lesson so fast once you start a podcast
That's
because you
very true.
realize that you got to be honest, man, because shit's gonna come back over and over
Yeah.
again. And you can't be telling different stories.
Oh, people tell me like they're like, "Oh, I just started listening," and then they'll reference something out of their like season one. I'm like, I don't even remember saying that. All right.
Thank God you didn't lie.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, it holds true.
Yes, yes, yes. Just that's why today, just now, I was like, no, I lied. Because I start to think about it, I'm like, nah, what am I saying? I'm catching myself. But yeah. What
And
was the
then
question again?
we were talking about using humor. So number nine
Yes,
was,
yes, yes,
oh
yes.
no, what? Oh, excessive humor. I skipped nine.
Oh
All
my
right.
God. Okay, so I
Ah,
don't I don't do it. I don't do it to hide my issues. I do it to lighten the mood of whoever I'm with because I don't want to see their face. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I want them to be happy. I'm okay. I've accepted it. It's like that story with Michael J. Fox that he's had it for so long, and by the time he was accepting it and he was opening up to the public, all of a sudden everyone's coming up to him and saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for what you're going through." And
yeah.
he didn't want that anymore. He's like, "Dude, I've accepted it. Leave me alone."
Yeah, but that's
So,
different than you making just being like, look how happy I am, but really you're not. I don't do that.
yeah,
If I'm in a bad mood, I'll tell you. At least I will now.
yeah.
Number nine, increased sensitivity. It says unhappiness can often make people more sensitive to criticism or negative feedback. Do you take things personally? I don't. I don't. I accept criticism. I appreciate criticism, but I weigh it against the person who's criticizing me,
Okay, okay.
especially if they're just generally somebody who is a hater. I don't, lack of a better word. If they
Yeah.
just hate for the reason, if they don't have a valid reason or a good criticism and they're not somebody that I respect, I don't, if I don't respect the person, why would I respect their opinion?
Mhm.
So I weigh it person by person.
Respect. You said it. That's my word. As long as everyone has respect, I feel like I've always been sensitive. I don't like that side of me, to be honest with you, but I feel like I'm always sensitive. I take things to heart sometimes. I learned like now I'm much better, right? When I don't react, I try not to react when someone says something that's not to my liking. but I feel like I've always been a sensitive guy, and I hate that word. I hate when someone's like, "Oh, you're just being sensitive." Yeah, I'll smack you if you say that to me.
Everybody has emotions. You're allowed to have your emotions.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. But you know how someone says you're just being sensitive.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
that's when somebody says that, it's because they were told that at one point in their lives. And then they said, oh, probably when they were young. And then they internalized that and said, I'm not allowed to be, so that I'm not allowed to be sensitive because that, this, so nobody can be. I think that's more of a them projecting what they didn't like about being told that. Does that make sense?
it does. I know what you're saying.
All right.
It
Okay.
does. I'm in my head, I'm just trying to remember those people. And I'm like, who are those people? What's going on? And yeah,
Now you have to find a happy medium between, being a ball of nerves huddled in a corner and then the other end being impervious to anything. You know what I mean? Like you have to be a human.
it's why I took that CBT course. I won't lie to you. It's because I tried to change my mind the way I think because I am extra sensitive. I do think I'm extra sensitive now that we're talking about it. I think I have a lot of control over my feelings and whatnot.
I
But I
since the diagnosis, dude, I cannot watch uh, a sad commercial without needing Kleenex.
I'm not laughing at you, but
No,
that's
you,
so cool. So it's like watching a movie, the commercials to you.
if
You know what I
you
mean?
if you were to ask Kit or my girls, they will tell you that I am a total sap when it comes to movies.
So am I. I think everyone should be. If you cannot, then you're not
Yeah.
human, and you're not.
Even if it's like a cartoon movie, you know what I mean? Like they're not real characters. And then let's see, number 10, emotional withdrawal. Since your diagnosis, was that something you ever did? It says the most critical sign to look out for in people who are deeply unhappy is an emotional withdrawal. They may become distant, unresponsive, and even apathetic. I'm gonna say I did not do that. I've always been the kind of person who I say plays it close to the vest. I'm not a very open and very private kind of guy, which is odd seeing as how we have this.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I don't think I withdrew. Not for any length of time. I can see how it's easy to do
yeah,
because you kind of get in your own head, you get in your own space, you start shutting down, you know.
yeah. I don't think I've had that issue either. It's isn't that kind of it's kind of opposite of question nine. It's like being insensitive,
Right.
right? Like I don't think I've encountered that.
No, all right.
I wish. Sometimes I wish that I was an ignorant guy and things, I don't think a certain way, but no, I don't
Well,
encounter that.
here is the reason why I didn't. And it's a story that I've never shared before. So,
Oh boy. All right, let's
well,
go.
first of all, before I get into that, you out of the 10, you did five,
Okay.
and I did four.
So what does that mean?
So that means we are normal
Okay.
and we are okay, and we're aware of what we're doing,
Okay.
and we're gonna be all right. You're gonna be just fine, Terry.
Okay, awesome. So am I a little more normal than you, or you're more normal than me?
I think on average 4.5 is right where we're both at. So if we average it out.
Okay. Thanks, bro.
So here's my story, and this is the reason why I did not withdraw from
Okay.
life and from my family. I was It was one of my very early inpatient stays for a flare up. And I was about halfway through. So about day three, I got a roommate, which was weird because I have very rarely do I get a roommate. But on this particular time, I did. And the reason why they put this gentleman next to me was because uh, I think I was 34 or 35 at the time, and he was in his early 60s, also an MS patient.
Okay.
So they said, "Hey, hey, Mr. Spade, you gotta have a roommate when you get back from your MRI," because that's I was getting my MRI testing that day. I said, "Oh, okay, great." They said, "Yeah, he has MS like you, so give you something to talk about." And I was like, "Okay,
A roommate in the hospital?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, so you mean someone in your room, in
yeah."
your, oh,
hmm
okay. I was
Only
like,
separated by a curtain. Usually, I
yes,
don't
yeah.
have one, so
When you say roommate, I thought you were talking about a roommate in your condo or your home.
no, 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 no,
It's
no,
like,
in the hospital.
mhm,
So I don't remember the guy's name, but
mhm,
for the next 3 days, he was in the
yeah.
hospital. He was in the room with me, and no one, I mean, no one came to visit him. His phone didn't ring, his cell phone didn't go off. He sat quietly on his laptop watching, I guess, Netflix or something. He was doing something. So, about the second day, I started chatting with him, and he said, how long you've been diagnosed. We start chatting. He said, "Listen, the piece of advice I'm going to give you is don't isolate from your family." I said, "Okay." Like I hadn't planned on it. Like I didn't say that to him, but I said, "Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't." He said, "No, listen, don't isolate from your people because it seems like you're doing the right thing, but I can tell you, I did that when I was in my 40s, and here I am 20 years later, and now nobody talks to me. He's like, I have no friends. I'm divorced. My children barely speak to me." And he said, all because I was a mean SOB because of the diagnosis. I pushed everybody away because I thought I was doing the right thing. And now I'm alone. He's like, so don't do that. And I was like, just hit me. I was like, oh, whoa. He said, he said, you need someone to go through the diagnosis with. So if you push everybody away, you're not going to have anybody. He said, because you can push and they'll come back, and you can push and they'll come back. He said, but eventually you'll push and they won't come back. And then you'll say, great, they finally got the message. And then some more time will go by and you'll realize nobody's coming back. Then it'll sink in, and then you can reach out and try to repair the relationships. But a lot of them, he said, a lot of them in my case aren't going to be repaired.
Um, my God.
Yeah. I
I
was
have things
like,
to say, man. Hmm. Yeah, man. I don't, if you're settled, I feel like you're settling. I feel like, okay, they don't talk to you. You feel, mm, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. I'm going through that right now. I'm in my 40s, just like you said, what he went through in his 40s, and now no one, he's pushed and no one, he's tried to repair it, but no one wants to be in his life. I'm going through that right now, man. I've pushed a lot of family members away. They try to come back in, and I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm going through that right now, man. We can talk about this and for hours because is it healthy to keep them in your life or not?
so I took everything he said and I kind of brushed it off. I'm like, yeah, it'll never happen.
Hmm.
But then I started thinking about it and I was like, damn, I've already done it to a couple of people. So I went home and I don't like, all right, this is going to sound nuts, but I don't know if the dude was real because he gave me some contact info. Like he gave me his email address and I reached out to him shortly after that. I've reached out to him probably, this is, years ago. So a couple of times I emailed him and I got nothing back. So I don't know if he was real or if he didn't want to connect with me either. I don't know. So
Hold on, hold on. Let's get into this. You don't know if he was real. Like you think he was.
Could have been an
Uh,
angel.
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
he,
mean,
because no one contacted him since he said no one
yeah.
talked to him. Do you ever
So
remember the nurses talking to him?
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
yes, he was
okay,
a real
okay.
person, but
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's cool that you said that.
I don't
But
know if he was. I don't know if he was like some kind of. Listen, if you're the kind of person that believes in guardian angels, I don't know if it was a guide or a guardian angel or whatever, but could have
yeah,
been me from the future that knew how to time travel. I have no idea.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I took it as a warning,
Wow. I don't
and
know what to say. Yeah.
I very much was like, "Oh, that's real. This guy has nobody." Like I get it. Not everybody can be at the hospital. Not everybody has time to go and, visit or whatever. I get that, but nothing, dude. He didn't. He literally just sat and he only touched the keyboard every time he was like changing movies or whatever. Like nobody emailed, nothing. So I've, talking to him, I got pieces of his life story, but he just kept going back to the don't isolate yourself. So that's why I didn't. Well, that's, other than I wasn't gonna anyway, but to hear that was very real and very powerful. It's like, wow, that's right. Like,
And when you mean don't isolate yourself, do you mean like, because he said like you don't push everyone away from you.
yeah, that's what
That's
he did. That's what he told me.
okay, okay. So that's what you mean by isolate.
Hmm.
No, I don't know if it means like you have people in your life and you're just staying home and you don't want to do much and you just,
Oh no, he said that he actively got people out of his life so they wouldn't be burdened by his diagnosis.
oh,
Yeah, like he actively was like, once
he
the
did it.
MS,
He did it for them.
he did it. Well, he thought he was doing it for them.
Oh,
And I think
okay.
I think we all have a piece of that, a little piece of that to some degree. I know I have. Or I thought it would just be like, oh, it'll just be easier. I won't be such a burden.
I do that too. I've done that
Well,
to
it's natural.
friends, not family. I've done that to friends
Hmm.
where I push them away. Yes.
And I think that comes from a place of we know how much of a burden the MS is for us. So we don't want to spread that burden around to the people that we love.
Which is why I'm a joker because I don't want anyone to get all depressed and this and that. So I lighten the mood.
I was told by Kit that I was not allowed to take her choice of taking care of me away. So if I told her to leave because of the MS, that wouldn't be fair to her having the ability to choose.
I've heard that many times
Oh,
before.
yeah, I've heard it many times since.
It's not fair if you make the decision for her.
Right, right.
Totally. It's true, man. That is true.
And that's what this guy did. Like I said, I tried to reach out to him. I tried to connect years ago, and either he didn't want to, or maybe I was a victim of the same thing. Maybe he gave me a wrong email, like on purpose or something. Here nor there. It was just a gentleman I ran into for 3 days years ago.
Did
He was
you
ominous warning from the future.
did you state that he might have passed away?
He could have. I mean, anything's possible.
Whatever. But
We're
yeah.
talking 10 years ago at this point.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a really weird encounter I had once.
Yeah.
And the more I think about that guy a lot because I use him as a gauge for how I'm treating the people around me.
Yeah.
So definitely served a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, I don't know what to say, man. Like I don't yeah. I don't have family. I don't have my what is it called? Your first, oh my God. I can't even think. Like my mom, my father, my brother.
Oh, you're like the nucleus?
Nucleus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
The nucleus.
the nuclear family.
Yeah, I don't have that around me, but it's because, and if you ask them, they'll say, he doesn't want anything to do with us. He pushes us away. You know what I mean? It's the same
Yeah, yeah.
thing. And yeah, I have because this is like another topic on its own, man. We'll go into this for half an hour. Easy. Yeah, I know, man, but I don't want to get into it because if I start opening up a topic, I'm gonna have to go this way to tell you guys why. I think it's my fault in the beginning because when I got diagnosed, I did not tell people what I was really going through because I would lighten the mood. So, hey, what's going on with your legs? Don't worry, I'm fine. And I would always make people laugh, and I was always a joker, which bit me in the ass because when I really was going through something and I would say something, it's like, oh, but you'll be fine, but you're okay.
Yeah, at some point you've cried it's like the reverse of crying wolf.
Mm, yes,
It's like, no, I'm
exactly.
good. I'm good. And then something
Yeah.
real happens. They're like, oh yeah, you're good. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that's, talking about
Yeah.
lying to cover up true emotions. You lie enough times, then eventually people believe it.
Hmm.
Then when
Hmm.
something, then you feel like you boxed yourself in because you can't
Hmm.
reach out because then that would break the facade of how awesome life is.
And that's why I speak up for other people. So if you came up to me and said, hey, oh, my sister has MS, I'm the first one to be like, make sure, and I'll start
Yep. Yep.
implanting seeds in your head. Yeah.
Overwhelmed with the laundry list of things to make your life easier and better. Yep.
Make sure she's sitting down when she's tired. Oh, she's fine. She says she is, but make her sit down, and I'll just think about how what I went through, and I just imagine she's going through the same thing, but she's probably not because everyone with MS is different. But yeah, did you know I fell down? I never even mentioned this to you. My hand is swelled up
Oh, I see
because
that.
oh, do you really from there? Crazy. Yeah, it's really bad. I'm okay. I didn't break anything, but I went to visit Katrina's mom at the home, and it's great there because all the washrooms are accessible. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you have your own washroom and you know where the bars are, and you can basically close your eyes and land in the bars to grab the bars to sit down. But when I was there, I stood up, I pivoted, I tried to grab a bar, and I kind of fell into the seat. And it's really hard to explain, but one of the bars split my fingers, so
Oh, yeah.
it like
Okay.
forced a finger to move a certain way. Anyway, it hurt at the time and it felt better. I was okay. I didn't mention anything about it. And then in the evening time, I said, "Oh, my finger's a little sore. Do you think I damaged it from that fall?" And then in the morning, I'm like, "Oh yeah, it hurts." And but it only hurts when you put pressure on it, like in the muscle.
Yeah, it only hurts when you use it. I
It
get it.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't hurt when I move it and stuff like that. But yeah, whatever. So my hand now is inflamed, and I'm putting the ice on it and stuff like that. But it's really a bitch because I use my chair all the time, and my hands are my everything.
Do you use the power assist in the house?
No,
Can you? Would that help?
no
No.
power
Okay.
assist, no, because you still have to use your hand, and then when you start to move, the wall's coming up. You got to turn it off, and then turn. It's just not. It's not easy.
Gotcha.
It's not easy. Yeah, but I yeah. What else can I say? I went to the dentist, and the dentist is like a kilometer and a half away. I went on my own chair, power, everything's fine. My head's fine.
Gotcha.
But when you
Well, that's
look at
good to
it, you're
hear.
like, yeah, 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 just everyday life, man. This is something that I probably would never have mentioned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But
just another bruise.
it highlights how something so minor as, even though it's a handicap accessible environment,
Mhm.
the fact that it's not your environment. So being somewhere else, it's, you got to do so much brain power goes into every single movement. And let's be honest, we don't have a lot of brain power.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
True
the
that.
the little power we have to conserve.
Yeah,
And those things happen.
yeah, yeah. And
Ah,
you know
boy,
what?
Terry.
It was just yeah, like it happens all the time where okay, I lost my balance. I fell into the seat pretty hard. Have you ever done that by the way, where You're
Yeah.
going down to the toilet and you smack into the toilet and you smack your bum on the seat. You're like, ow, that was a little too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go through
I've
that all the time, but this time my finger just hit the bar and yeah. And you can't even see my knuckle. It's
oh yeah,
because
you
it's
are
like
swollen.
it doesn't look it, but it is. You can't
Look
even
like
see
you
my
were in
knuckle.
a BKFC fight. Speaking of which, did you watch the show today?
No, I didn't.
You were on it again, Terry.
Dude, for real.
For real.
Don't tell me he showed the shirt.
He did.
Bro, I was at the dentist.
Bro,
I was at the dentist.
he interrupted the president of the company. Was
Yo,
he said, wait. I just want to do something real quick before we talk. He goes, I just want to talk about this awesome t-shirt I got from Canada.
bro, I was at the dentist. That sucks. I
Gotta
want to
watch,
see that.
gotta watch
It's
the replay.
recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He mentioned us again.
That's pretty cool, man. That is cool.
Talking about how big a fan you are.
That's funny. Yeah, that guy's changed my life. No, I'm just joking. That was Katrina that said that. That was funny though. But yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah.
Well, who do we got next week?
Who do we got next week? Yo, we got a guest every week until July,
I know. Who's
except
up
for
first?
Father's Day. Of course, we don't have anyone yet.
Yeah,
Uh, maybe it should be a show about you being a father. Maybe
me,
your
huh?
kids. Yeah. Anyway, who do we
Yeah, let's
have
have my
next?
kids on. That'll be a show.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but this next guest that we have on, she's awesome. She actually gave me a shirt 4 years ago because we connected through Instagram and she had these shirts that she was giving away and yeah, it's anyway, I'll tell you more on that day. I'm not gonna spoil it.
You're killing me, Terry.
Yeah.
All right. So we're
Hey,
back.
she has MS.
Oh, good. No, I mean, not oh, good, but oh, good. Good for our show.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So we got guest book all the way out to most of the summertime.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we got a lot of things coming up.
We do. We do.
Gonna be a good summer.
I feel like this is the slow time we've just went through in our season in
Yeah.
the last like 2, 3 weeks, but this is what we needed.
Yeah, I definitely needed a break. I was pushing way too hard to do. I was being pulled in so many different directions. It was just personally very busy, but now all that's kind of subsided now that we're past college for the summer and now that everybody's home, you know what I mean? So now I can kind of settle back in. And plus I need something to do during the day because Lord knows I can't be out in this heat.
Yeah.
I've already had to break out the ice vest twice.
Oh, okay.
Um, it got over, it got above 85 degrees. So I guess what is that, like 16 or 17 degrees Celsius, maybe?
No,
Maybe.
way over that.
Oh, higher than that?
Yeah, because
All right.
72 or 75 is room temperature,
Okay. So,
which
yeah.
is
So,
21. Room temperature is 21.
okay. So
Sorry, yeah.
maybe closer to 25, 26.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Um, so twice I've had to wear that. So if anybody, don't be afraid to use what you need to in the summertime. Cooling vests, personal fans, ACs, avoiding the heat, telling people that you need to take more breaks, stay hydrated. Otherwise, you turn into a meanie like me.
Yeah. I got a fan that has that thing where you spray and
Oh,
water.
the mister. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I haven't used it yet, but yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, brother.
All right, man. We will
Good
talk
stuff.
soon. It will be a lot more exciting than today, guaranteed.
Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. I'll talk to you soon, bro. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4-letter-T-below-zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's what's_ms. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.